Hi, this is Matthew Robert Payne. This t-shirt says, no one has accidental success. It's one of my 200 t-shirts. I'll just turn the music down. Gonna do a bit of a musing on the Prodigal Son. I just had a thought about it today, which was brought on by watching a TV show. In the TV show, there's an older brother who 10 years before had gone to university and become a heart specialist, and a younger brother who stayed on the farm. And to keep the farm going, he developed a brewing beer business, and he developed a brewery on the farm, which earned money as they sold the beer off the brewing, and he saved the farm. The father told him that the farm would go to the oldest brother. He said that's just a regular thing that happens in the country, that the oldest brother gets the farm. And the boy who'd stayed and made the farm a success with the brewing company is going to get no money for the farm. He wasn't going to get ownership. So basically, all the work he'd done over the years, it's gone to nothing. Reminded me of the Prodigal Son story. I don't know how many of you spent most of your life spending God's resources on prostitutes and drinking, but I certainly have. And yet I figure most of the church is in the older brother's shoes, that we've been good, we've been traveling with the Father, we've been good Christians, we've been righteous, and it's abhorrent. It's I used a big word there. It's really crazy for us to even consider or accept that someone who's living a life of prostitution or heavily into drugs or heavily into darkness is really even worthy to come to the Father's house and be accepted. And I think it's a shame, but I think that's why the brokenhearted stay brokenhearted. I think that's why the Christian church really doesn't go into the pubs or really go into the brothels or the sexually abused or the prostitutes or the witches or the bikers or anyone that's traditionally a sinner. I think that's the reason why the church doesn't go and seek them out or look for them or love them or really care for them. And the supposed revivals in the future are about the church getting bigger and having a big revival before we all go to heaven. I don't think too many Christians are even concerned about the brokenhearted actually being brokenhearted. I don't think people really care about the sinners and what we would call as sinners, the brokenhearted. I don't think the church actually cares. And Jesus said another parable where the king was going to have a party for his son, or his father was going to have a party for his son, the king, and he sent the invitations out to all his friends, and they all made excuses and didn't come to the party. And finally, he said, send out and get all the sinners and all the bad people on the highways and byways and bring them into my house, because my house, the food is ready and the money's been spent, and I want to have a party. And, if the church aren't interested in the brokenhearted, and God is going to restore and bring home the brokenhearted, it essentially means that the church isn't going to be involved in bringing home the brokenhearted, and they're not going to have the revival they think of. And there's going to be like two church bodies. There's going to be a established religious church body, and there's going to be a breakaway sort of body formed by chosen sort of individuals who raise up churches for the brokenhearted. I don't know if you've ever considered that. There's a lot of prophets in the world. They seem to be prophesying all sorts of stuff, but none of them saw this coronavirus, and they've been prophesying prosperity and increase and all this stuff. And no one I know except one person, Orty, one of my friends, prophesied bad things happening. And now things are getting pretty bad. And I just had to bring this forth that are you an older brother? Are you one of these Christians who have got no care or consideration for the brokenhearted, for the sexually addicted, for the prostitute, for the witch, for the warlock, for the homosexual, for the drug addict? Have you got no care? Have you got no compassion for them? Perhaps the Father's going to save them all by himself. Perhaps the Father's going to do something completely different. So I'll leave you to consider that. I'd appreciate your feedback as a comment. God bless.